Well, happy Mindfulness Monday, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Please know that you'll be muted for the duration of today's session. Feel free to use the chat function to communicate with me and Laura. Share questions, thoughts, where you're joining from, and an invitation to join us on camera if you're in a place of comfort and will feel comfortable being on camera today. Definitely encourage you to join us on camera. We do love to see each other in this mindful space. Our next live English session will be September 8th. So next week is our EP Salud on Casa programming, and then we have Labor Day. I'm trying my hardest not to labor on Labor Day. And so we'll get together again live on September 8th. PD Health at Home is presented by the Light of Day Foundation. Many thanks to our sponsor, Light of Day, for their generous support and supporting us to advance our mission. Appreciate your support, Light of Day. And I will be facilitating our session today. So there's some information on the screen if you want to stay connected with me beyond Mindfulness Mondays. My email's up there and my website as well. Offer all kinds of services to support life's transitions, these seasons of life. So just some ideas to stay connected. All right, my friends, want to check in. And before we do, I would like to invite you to imagine, just imagine that we are gathering beside a quiet, moonlit lake. Just imagine that we're gathering beside a quiet, moonlit lake and that you can feel the air soften around you. And you can see the still water of the lake mirroring the stars of the sky. And here, there's nothing to achieve, no race to run, no clock to watch. Just the simple, tender truth that you're allowed to lay your burdens down. You're allowed to rest, and you're allowed to be held by the night. So just imagine. Our session today is focused on cultivating restful nights through mindfulness. And sleep is one of those things we often don't think about until it becomes elusive. And when our nights are restless, our days can feel heavier, our minds foggier, and it can be more difficult to meet our days with presence and with energy. And if you live with Parkinson's, sleep can be particularly challenging. Research tells us that Parkinson's can bring changes in the brain and nervous system that affect our sleep cycles, from difficulty falling asleep to waking often during the night, to experiencing vivid dreams or even acting them out, to feeling drowsy during the day. Sometimes medications help, but they can also bring side effects that influence our sleep. So I share this because it's not just in your head. There are real biological reasons sleep can feel harder to come by when you're impacted or living with Parkinson's disease. And yet, while we may not be able to control every factor, we can learn ways of softening into the night, quieting the body's stress response, and inviting restfulness in, not by forcing it, but by cultivating the conditions that allow sleep to arrive naturally. There's a saying often attributed to John Kabat-Zinn, was actually spoken originally by Swami Satchidananda. And he wrote, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." Are we familiar with this quote? No? Well, I'm happy to share it with you as a first timer. So when it comes to sleep, this means we can't force our bodies to drift off on command. In fact, the more we try to force it, the more alert we become. But mindfulness offers another way. Rather than fighting wakefulness, we turn toward the body and the moment with gentleness, sensing what is here and allowing it to be as it is. Sarah Blondin speaks to this so beautifully, and she said, when we are able to rest into the center of ourselves, we find we are already home. Rest doesn't mean sleeping immediately. Rest can mean letting your nervous system drop into safety, letting your mind unhook from its spinning, and letting your breath become the anchor that tethers you to this moment. In that place, the doorway to sleep often opens quietly, without effort. Mindfulness practices have been shown to reduce stress hormones that interfere with our sleep, that interfere with deep sleep. Mindfulness practices have also shown that they lower heart rate and blood pressure, and that invites the body into this rest and digest mode. Mindfulness practices have been shown to decrease rumination. Are we familiar with this word, ruminate, to ruminate? Rumination is when we bring the mind and stick it really hard onto something or someone that didn't go as we planned. And we really sink into it. And we hook to it. I love using this metaphor of hooking our thoughts onto something. So rumination is those waking thoughts that keep us distracted and keep us awake. And mindfulness practices have been shown to decrease rumination, to decrease those racing thoughts. And mindfulness practices have been shown to build a kinder relationship with the experience of wakefulness so that the middle of the night hours aren't filled with anxiety. So I'd like to explore a mindfulness practice you can use before bed or if you wake up in the night. And you don't need to do it perfectly. The goal is to not make sleep happen, but to welcome the possibility of rest in any form it comes. Even if that rest is simply lying quietly and feeling the support of the bed or chair beneath you. So as we move into our practice, I invite you to release any expectation that this meditation will work in the traditional sense. Instead, think of it as planting seeds for rest. Sometimes they sprout immediately and sometimes later. Either way, the act of planting matters. So let's settle in. Let's find yourself a comfortable position, whether seated or lying down, a position that feels sustainable for you. You might close your eyes or soften your gaze. And by soften your gaze, I mean allow the eyelids to get heavy and maybe look down towards the ground or towards your lap. And take a slow, easy breath in and let it fall out naturally. Again, breathing in and letting it go. There is no rush. There is nothing to fix. Slowly breathing in and naturally letting it go. And begin to notice the points of contact between your body and what is supporting you. Notice the weight of your head, the softness or firmness beneath you, the gentle pull of gravity inviting you closer to the surface that is supporting you. Allow yourself to be held. And you don't need to hold yourself upright. Allow yourself to be held. And bring your attention to your breathing. Not to change it, but to witness it. The coolness of the inhale, the warmth of your exhale. If the breath feels shallow or uneven, that's okay. Let it be exactly as it is. And with each exhale, imagine releasing a tiny thread of tension. Breathing in the coolness of the inhale and breathing out the warmth of the exhale. And now gently scan through the body, a way of signaling to your nervous system that it's okay to soften. It's okay to soften. And start at the crown of your head, the top of your skull. Imagine a warm light there, inviting in ease. And let that light drift down your forehead, smoothing the space between your brows and hairline. Softening the tiny muscles around your eyes. Noticing your cheeks, your jaw. And see if you can let your tongue rest in your mouth. Allow your neck and shoulders to loosen, dropping away from your ears and collarbones. And let a wave of softness flow down your arms, into your hands, all the way to your fingertips. Relax the chest. Soften your belly. And let your belly rise and fall naturally with the breath, with the same ebb and flow of a wave. And feel this wave of softness travel down your back, melting through the vertebrae of your spine. If you can, notice yourself release in the hips, soften in your thighs, relax in the front and the back of your knees. All the way down into your feet and toes. And take a moment to feel your whole body bathed in this warm, gentle wave of ease. And if thoughts come about sleep, about tomorrow, about tonight, about the past, notice them as you might notice clouds passing through a night sky. Not forcing them or pushing them away or even following them, just acknowledging, I am thinking. And if sensations arise, a twinge, an itch, a sound in the room, meet them with curiosity and kindness. And come back to that anchor of your breath. And now you can silently say to yourself, may my body be at ease. May my body be at ease. May my mind be at peace. May my mind be at peace. May I rest in safety. May I rest in safety. You don't have to make these things happen. You're simply planting seeds with your words, with your attention, and with your breath. May my body be at ease. May my mind be at peace. May I rest in safety. May my body be at ease. May my mind be at peace. May I rest in safety. can linger here as long as you'd like. If sleep comes, let it. If wakefulness stays, rest in the truth that your body is still receiving the nourishment of stillness. And when you're ready to end, gently bring some movement back into your fingers and toes. And if your eyes are closed, allow them to open softly, first catching a glance down towards the ground and then expanding the eyes out and around, and eventually finding the screen. Take one more slow breath in together and sigh it out. Open the mouth, make some noise. Maybe giving yourself a small stretch or a sip of water. If you'd like to share, I'd love to hear from you. How did that practice land for you today? Did anything surprise you, comfort you, or feel helpful to take into your own nights? You can write a word, a sentence, just an emoji, whatever feels easy and right. Feel calm. Drifted away a couple of times. It was quite lovely. A lot of gratitude in the chat. It's fascinating. The more I do some one-on-one conversations with you all, the more I'm learning of how impactful sleep is. And this session really came inspired by one of my clients, and sleep being one of their chief complaints. And so I'll send his thanks, your thanks to them. I'm glad it's landing for you all. Good, Keith. Yeah, minimal distractions. And we can practice mindfulness when there's lots of distractions too. Oh, I was going to grab a book to share with you all. I've been studying John Kabat-Zinn's work, and a book that I'm reading right now and I'm finding really, really insightful and grounding, but also accessible, is his book called Wherever You Go, There You Are. And it has these short meditations and opportunities to try mindfulness, and it's been really beautiful to sort of inspire my own mindfulness practice. So a little resource for you all. Fatigue during the day. Yeah. There's lots to learn about sleep. And if you're just noticing that sleep is an issue for you in your Parkinson's journey, don't hesitate to do a quick search on our website and find more resources to learn more about it. Education can empower us. Yeah, Suzanne, John Kabat-Zinn. John Kabat-Zinn. Just Google it, Jon, John Kabat-Zinn. He is a grandfather of mindfulness, bringing Buddhist teachings to us Westerners, so it's a bit more accessible for our culture. Okay, as we close, my friends, I just want to remind you that rest is not something you have to earn. It is your birthright. Whether sleep comes quickly or takes its time, the simple act of pausing, breathing, and being present with yourself is already a form of deep nourishment. So thank you for showing up for yourself and for each other on this day. Our time together is like planting seeds. Every time we come together, we're just cultivating that earth, cultivating the mind, and this practice of mindfulness as we journey through Parkinson's together. And you never know how or when or what will bloom from those seeds that we plant. So until we meet again, may you move through your nights and days with ease. May your body be held in comfort, and may your mind know peace. Our next session is September 8th. That's the live session. So I'll see you guys then, all right? Until soon, my friends. Be well.